the thing that has everybody buzzing, SPD, the thing that has all of us
we have to talk about it.
So excited is the end of this show. Wow, the Inner Circle War Council. So heading into this, I was kind of expecting MJF to sort of seize the reins of the Inner Circle, right? Yeah. I thought that the writing was on the wall. It made a lot of sense, especially with Jericho and kind of taking the pin at the pay-per-view. We had a feeling that there was going to be some shifting in power, but there was nobody, and I mean nobody, who expected this to happen the way it did. Wow, what an absolute mind-blowing segment. Dive in, SPD. Tell me what you were thinking watching this thing unravel.
I literally had nothing to say. I kept saying, I'm speechless. Like, we knew, something was going to happen. And like you said, no one could have never predicted this in a million years. And as expected, with the number one egotistic, conniving heel MJF that he is, it was outstanding. I mean, from top to bottom. I mean, you have Sammy's return, which we totally booked this completely wrong. We thought it would cost MJF something, and we thought the Inner Circle was going to kind of spread apart. But now I think the Inner Circle bond, which we're now going to see them, I would say, as baby faces, which is going to be even more exciting to watch. I think you're just getting a rekindling an awesome team. The faction of AEW, we're rekindling that, and they're going to take it to the moon. And it's not going to be an easy task. I mean, MJF and Wardlow alone are our team to mess with, and then your favorite team, FTR, and then their new addition, Sean Spears. So this 5-on-5 battle is going to be some of the best stuff we're going to get, and hopefully we'll get this over the next 6 to 8 months of just back and forth. When you have Chris Jericho and MJF paired together, it was pure gold. Now we're going to have them go head to head
against each other.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be platinum plated. I mean, it's going to be the best, must-see TV. And as the show was going on, I was, like, when are they going to do this? And then as soon as Scorpio Sky came out, for the match, and I was like, okay, the Inner Circle, this is going to be the main event. Something big is going to happen. It's not going to just be a quick little shenanigans promo that they did. This was humongous. And we saw the formation of his own new Inner Circle. MJF said he was, too busy building his own Inner Circle, and it was, oh man, I'm so excited for this.
It was so intelligently planned out too, right? Like, Sammy with the vlog, right? And so utilizing the video footage of the backstage, and then Jericho kind of calling out, like, again, complimenting the audience's intelligence and leaning into that. Like, oh, you don't think that we talk to each other? We know exactly what you were planning, MJF. Just the thought process laid out. It was just so smart. So I got to give AEW booking a lot of credit for that, man. But my gosh, I was just talking to a buddy of mine about how, he was clamoring for seeing some of these factions starting to fight each other. And this doesn't get bigger. It just does not get any bigger than seeing the Inner Circle, which really is the cornerstone faction of AEW, really the foundation of a heel group, now turning babyface. Going against MJF and that crew that he put together, brother, I don't know if I could pick a better team. Crayfish was beaming ear to ear when I saw MJF, FTR, Wardlow. I mean, it was just absolutely Sean Spears. Sean Spears' move where he basically stomped Sammy Guevara's face into the chair in the corner. That was freaking brutal, man.
He sold it great too.
Oh my God, it looked like Sammy was murdered there. It was absolutely incredible. I was just geeking out about this one. This was such an absolutely mind-blowing ending to a show. And as you talked about it, laid the foundation for weeks and months of potential matchups. I loved how, and I said it at Revolution. I'll say it again tonight because JR was he was slathering Wardlow with that famous barbecue sauce. He wanted to eat up that big boy. He was loving. It was so great to see and hear it. JR said, there will be a day when we say Wardlow's name first.
I love that. Yep.
That was such a great line by JR. And it's so true, man. Like, Wardlow is quickly becoming an undeniable presence. I think that this showcase and this feud, you're going to finally be able to really get to see all these matchups that we're going to, I mean, you got Sammy that's going to be obviously on the Inner Circle side again.
Mm-hmm.
That matchup with him and MJF. I mean, there's so much here to get our minds around. So much potential content. I'm really excited about seeing where this is going to go, brother. I really think this is going to be amazing.
I'm like salivating just thinking about the matchups. You could throw FTR and Santana Ortiz, two of our favorite tag teams, head to head. And obviously Sammy and Spears are going to put on an awesome match. And then Wardlow and Hager could have a rematch. Those are just some of the building blocks
Jericho,
of it.
Brother.
MJF
you
and
just
Jericho.
laid it all out, dude. I love exactly
this could be a blood and guts, like a blood and guts, which they never got to, which I had tickets to here in New Jersey. But I think ultimately you build this to a massive 5-on-5. And then I think to really solidify this, you have Wardlow essentially standing tall, taking the victory, and A Star Is Born.
I mean, we all here at that. I mean, I know the Dynamite Download team here is big on Wardlow. We have been from really the moment that he burst on the scene. The guy has it all. But this whole thing is all because of MJF. We've listened to him on Talk Is Jericho. We've followed him on social media. There was nothing that any of us could have seen or put. We all in the internet wrestling community like to pride ourselves on being one step ahead or being able to figure out the booking, and we like to think that we're really, really smart and ahead of things. AEW did such an incredible job of keeping this one close to the vest, keeping this one smart and kind of a big surprise. And my goodness, the fan base is just, I mean, you could see I am just beaming ear to ear, man. I absolutely love how this was executed. And when you think about the group that MJF has put together, MJF is really a student of the game. From anybody who really follows him, yes, he's a very arrogant jerk, but he prides himself on being a student of the game. And so it's very fitting that he's in a group with Tully. It's very fitting that he's in a group with FTR, who again, those guys are also they put their reputation basically on the fact that they honor those before them. Yep. It's a smart group. It's a group that pays attention to the legacy and the history of the business. And if you're going to label any group the next Horseman, this kind of group is such a beautiful combination of talent, minds. Really, really excited to see where this one goes. And if you're going to turn the Inner Circle face, you have to have a group that is just despicable, that is just going to make you want to just hate them, right? And you and I have talked about this at length. I finally have turned you on to the FTR bandwagon, but so many weeks we've seen them take to shortcuts, beat up people after matches. It's just an incredible testimony to what this group is capable of. That post announcement beatdown was incredible. MJF, we love you just as much as you love us. You kept us marks guessing, and we appreciate that. In today's day and age, where it's so hard to be surprised, it's so hard to keep that kayfabe going, my man absolutely delivered. What an ending to this show.
Oh my gosh, man. We could talk about this all night just because our mind is so blown and we're just anxious about thinking of what's to come. But